land-based bombers struck again. Dozens of bombs rained down, many with pinpoint accuracy. 243 people were killed, 170 of them crew aboard naval and merchant vessels crowded into Darwin Harbour. On the wharf, an entire span was blown out by a direct hit. 22 waterside workers were killed. A direct hit on Darwin Post Office killed 10. The civil and Air Force aerodromes were hammered. In all, more than 350 service personnel and civilians were injured. These first two attacks on Darwin were the most destructive of the 64 air raids, which persisted for almost 2 years, targeting objectives as far south as Catherine, 320 kilometers inland. A total of 21 vessels were hit during this first air assault on Australia. 8 ships were sunk, some with guns still firing. Although damaged, the Australian hospital ship Manunda launched lifeboats to rescue survivors. The dive bombing of the United States destroyer Peary was particularly tragic. 81 crew members were killed.
I was up trying to lift the anchor, and we got hit 5 times by bombs from the bridge aft, and we started to sink. The rear part of the ship was already all blown apart, so I just jumped over the side, just like the rest of the anchoring detail. We were in the water, and we got aboard this Manunda lifeboat and rowed it to the shore and got off.
In the air, Darwin's only defense lay with 10 Kitty Hawk fighters of the United States 33rd Pursuit Squadron, which had turned back while en route to Java. As the battle raged, they were destroyed one by one. A lone Kitty Hawk remained in the air during the raid, shooting down 2 Japanese aircraft. Australian soil had been bloodied, and the Northern Territory was the nation's front line. The territory became the offensive base for some 250,000 service personnel and civilians from throughout Australia, the United States, Great Britain, Canada, and the Dutch East Indies, now Indonesia. Aboriginal Territorians were involved from the start. Some served in the army, and many others provided support for Coast Watch networks. The territory became a huge platform of Allied efforts to strike back. It was to be a time of intensive fortification and infrastructure development. The Northern Territory's main road link to the rest of Australia, the Stewart Highway, which became known simply as the Track, was developed to cope with troop and armaments convoys being deployed ever northwards. Alice Springs, the territory's railhead, was quickly transformed into a huge military staging base as men and equipment flooded north. From the east, bumper-to-bumper convoys fed the build-up for the Mount Isa staging post. Within a matter of months following the first air raids, 50 defensive and offensive airfields were brought into operation across the top end and down the track. It was from these strips that some of the longest distance Allied bombing raids of World War II were launched. 14-hour flights by heavy bombers to harass Japanese garrisons and disrupt the enemy's vital supplies of oil and rubber to Australia's north.